What is everybody? My name is Alex, and
Luke here, and of course Alex is being a little pouty pout pants. He doesn't really know how to sound enthusiastic to a freaking thing. Yeah, sorry for the delay
yeah,
on
because it's
episodes,
another.
guys.
F***ing-
What?
Yeah, go on, Luke. You're explaining it better than me.
So sorry for the delay in episodes, guys, where you see Alex here decided to not freaking want to commentate because
Post.
he had to have sleep problems for, like, ever.
I was really tired.
Yeah, so, like,
What
he
else
was
can I
like,
say? And then my laptop broke. That was
yeah, his
another thing.
laptop broke, so, like, that's a thing.
And then I had to buy a new fucking computer. That's another thing.
Yeah. And of course, as you all know, we're post-commentating because Fraps decided to be a bitch and freaking make it so it can get my audio, at least not in a very loud sense. So instead of making you suffer through 6, 7 episodes of not being able to hear me, we're just gonna post-commentate it, and this will be
Yeah, and
the
it's gonna
long,
take
slow
like 2 weeks
voice.
to get it all done because I have literally no motivation for this bullshit. So.
You don't like post-commentating.
I can't.
You don't like post-commentating, do you?
No, I am not a fan of it. Why'd you show the map there?
So I could cut in the way that I just now did.
Well, it looked like you showed it because you went the wrong fucking
No,
way.
I did it to show, and stop making me feed you Mario coins.
Why do you do Mario coins?
I,
Everyone does it now.
no one does it.
And they do.
Who does it?
Pretty sure I've seen a lot of other people use Mario coins.
That's pretty vague.
I don't remember who, but I remember people using Mario coins.
Well,
It was
up
like coin
yours.
you, coin you, coin you, coin you repeatedly.
So
I
as you
mean, if
all
anyone's
know,
watched the Josh Jepson video, I mean,
I don't
he
know who
should
Josh
fucking
Jefferson
Mario coin
is.
his shit.
So anyway, guys, as you all know, because of course this post commentary, the only
We
we
have to
don't
have a
really we don't,
topic. We have to have a topic.
yeah, so because we don't really know what we did during this video besides go around. Oh yeah, and guys, something that sucks about the Crustacean Empire.
Is half the videos walking.
Yes, that's why you see so many cuts because it's such a huge area. Okay, I cut out at least 10 minutes of pure walking, and this was to talk to one guy.
And the funny thing is, you don't, it's not like you're going to a new place every time. You're literally going to the same person repeatedly.
Yeah, like I show the first time getting there, because, you know, just so you know where to go, but after that I'm cutting everything else out. Because, like, eh, you know? Okay, so, shall we introduce the topic for today?
Yeah, what's the topic, Luke? You came up with it.
Let me
Why we've
phrase
been
it.
no-lifing ourselves and
Yeah,
playing this
how,
game for a
yeah,
few
let's,
years, right? Yeah.
yeah, I guess so. Um, news, Morgana storyline sucks, that is all.
Yeah, Morgana storyline sucks. Mouse there for the win.
Yeah, good. Well,
Like, as much as we hate to say it, Morgana storyline's been a fail.
especially compared to the Malistaire one, because
Please don't tell me I have to restart this. Just cut that out.
yeah, I'll cut it out.
But anyways, now here's the thing about this topic, guys. So we can say how good the Malistaire story arc was, and then we can say how shitty the Morgant story arc was. But what if they make a new storyline, which has already been basically said they were gonna do? It's
Well,
just you
yeah,
have to dig through the whole producer letter to understand what they mean by that.
yeah,
And
what's it?
why we're talking about this is because we want to reminisce and stuff, and should tell you why we think these storylines are bad, and then how we think they can improve another storyline if they ever came out with one.
Yeah, like, the Morgana
So
storyline.
the things that were good about the Malister arc was you could if you read the dialogue,
Which we
I
didn't do.
mean, which we didn't do. I know we should have for the Mouser arc. But if you ever read the Mouser story arc, it wasn't like, and you read the quest dialogue. Okay, sure, side quests are completely pointless. You don't have to. You can ignore all the text there. You don't have to really do them. But if you're going to, let's say, if you're in Mushu, there's not just you're doing things for just some bolt, like it's not like, oh, in like Avalon or something where you could do a quest saying, hey, go do this, I'll give you information, and then you do another thing for me and I'll give you more information. That's all you did.
Mhm.
It's more so like there's some reason behind you having to do this and why. Like in Hemetsu Village in Mushu, for example, when you have to look for the people who are scouting the area and they got lost and you don't know if they actually got screwed over by it, that's actual war tactics. If someone's lost, you kind of have to look for them.
Yeah, and another thing that was great about the, and this is of course for the very beginning of the game. Another thing that was great about the Malister arc was that you create a wizard, but then not even 5 minutes into your adventure, boom, the main villain of the entire first part of the game is in your face saying, "I will destroy you."
Yeah, and then here's the thing about Morganth. Notice how this whole Celestia LP, we have not seen Morganth yet.
Yeah, like guys, taking out the fact that we know she's the boss, when has her name? When have we
Ever
actually
appeared in
seen her?
Celestia so
Yeah,
far? When has her name appeared?
like
So it's like, and then I'll just spoil it for you guys because a lot of people already play this game. She shows up next episode.
yes, in
So
a
you
very
basically do a shitload of areas for a lost cause, just to figure out there's some spider witch demon. I don't know whatever how you want everyone to however you want to describe her is trying to kill you in Wizard City.
and
So
her goal is not even very. Her goal is not even that like well known. All you know is that she's the next bad guy. While with Malistaire, you immediately
he
know.
was trying to revive his wife Sylvia the whole time, and
Yeah,
he thought he was doing the right thing when he really wasn't.
and like while we didn't know that he was resurrecting his wife until like what the fourth world or something, we still knew. Basically, we still knew that he was after the Croconomicon ever since the middle of Wizard City. And
And
after he got a hold of it, he was tag teaming with Meowiardi in order to get something else. I don't really remember what it is, but
yeah, but we know he was after something in every world. Same with Morganth. Like Morganth was after her deck of shadows and all that in Safaria. But
like
the
it's much
thing
less clear
is,
about our goal.
but yeah, we never really knew who she was when we started the world. And remember, there was actually an intro to Celestia, but they had there's no particular way of knowing, like, she was not in there, basically.
Are you talking
So
about the original quest to Celestia
the
before it was
quest, the
removed?
original quest of Celestia that I had to do, well, that I
Yeah,
remember doing, that was actually forced you had to do at the time.
it was.
Um,
It's for the key,
you
right?
don't have to do it anymore, but so a lot of people just skip it, go straight to Celestia. That's why you see, and a lot of people not at the Marleybone Tower anymore.
The
But
dude, that
the
was
Marleybone Tower was hard in its own way.
okay. For
But
for those grandmasters out there who remember the pain, it's pretty much like Brisk Breeze on steroids.
pretty much. And
My Storm actually still has the quest to it in his book.
I had it on my fire, but remember I did that whole dungeon on a life wizard before my fire did,
Yeah.
so I deleted that dude. So I don't really remember much about my life. But anyways, it was like that was a hell to do, and it was pretty difficult. So
Yeah, and like, oh wait, no, we probably shouldn't talk about that because it's a spoiler for the final world. So forget about what I was
yeah,
about to say.
yeah, but there's a lot of things you can say that went good with the Morgan storyline there, but there's more so bad things.
Yes,
And I don't think the producers did a really good job at clearing up her story
and
at all.
like the main thing that made the story so weak for Morganth was that she had such a horrible introduction to us as the players. Like, yeah, because as I just said a moment ago, Malistaire, you meet him at the very beginning of the game. You see him in almost every single world from then on.
Pretty much.
He's
You
constantly
don't
talked
actually
about.
see him in Mushu, but
Yeah,
you
but like,
still get a good idea of what's going on there.
hmm
Like the fact that he basically fucked over, I think the Emperor. He basically made the Onis come or whatever. I don't remember, but
yeah,
I don't think he actually made the Onis come. I think he more so like hurt the Emperor, and then the Onis came out of that. So,
yeah,
because if you think about it, you were basically purifying in
yeah. You're pretty much purifying Mushu.
you're what you did in the first part was you had to go through the war tactics. So you're basically trying to free, and then as you see, you face the war Oni. So you know you're that whole part is just basically warfare. So we know that we're basically doing something about war, but then you go to Shoshin Village. You have to purify things. Hence why you fight an Oni called the Plague Oni. And then once you go to the temple, Yoshito Temple, notice how everything is basically a spirit and nothing is alive there.
Which is
Even the
very
main,
grim
even
for
the
a
main,
children's game.
and even the main person you're talking to there is dead. Hideo Kabo is dead. He is a spirit. And notice how when you do that, you fight an Oni called the Death Oni.
Yeah, and that's another thing though, is that did you notice that as you went through the Malistaire storyline, everyone seemed like they had character and like a little story to tell, and like they were actually
Like Zarathax, for example.
yeah.
Not many people like him, but I'm not particularly one of those people who do like him. But you do get the point that Zarathax had a storyline, and a lot of other people had their own similar states. So,
Like even in the excavation camps in Krakatopia, I actually kind of felt like I was helping them excavate around looking for the Krakonomicon and everything, you know? Like that was pretty much the whole point of Krakatopia, to try and beat Malisaire to the chase of that book.
and another funny thing about Marleybone and stuff is, at the end of Croc, that you cannot get the Croconomicon. It's already been shipped to Marleybone. But then you hit Marleybone and you ask, "What? Hey, you ask the mayor, hey,
And he's like, "Oh, nope, sorry,
sorry,
it's
it's
been
fragile.
stolen."
It's extremely fragile. We can't let it and the public be rummaging through it." So he's basically giving you a valid reason why you cannot see the Croconomicon. So it's basically, what I'm saying is here, it wasn't some stupid reason they couldn't give you it or some stupid reason they couldn't give you information. It's they had a logical reason and something that would probably have the same reason in real life if you were trying to find an
Yeah,
artifact
but
in a
now
museum.
but now in the new storyline, and don't get us wrong, we still like the Morgana storyline, just not as much as Malistaire. But like in like the Morganth one, it's more like, oh, yeah, you're gonna need to kill 50 of these things before we can tell you anything because we don't trust you.
And it was like I remember doing a quest. We had to kill like 20 enemies for literally no reason whatsoever, but to just get rid of
It
them.
just felt so random. It was just like, oh, our keep is under siege. Can you please get rid of a few of these enemies? And it felt so random and out of the
Like,
story.
yeah, exactly, and that's what I mean by a lot of the things. My problem with the Morgan storyline is, it's just the dialogue runs through. If you ever listen to it, it's fluent and okay. So a lot of people say they hate Grizzleheim. I think the only reason way I can even play Grizzleheim is if I pay attention to what's going on in the dialogue.
Hmm.
Because if you read the Grizzleheim dialogue in like Ravenscar and stuff, you might be like, what the are we even doing in Ravenscar? Like it's so pointless. But if you read it, they're walking you through what's going on exactly at that minute. In
Yeah.
a lot of these newer worlds, if you just read the dialogue, it's random as shit, and you don't understand you'd have a less understanding of what's actually going on there than you would in an area that's hated as like Grizzleheim is.
But then again, though, I remember this. I think it's a completely different story team for Morganth than there was for Malistaire.
Yes, there was. Pretty sure there was at least.
Because I
I'm
remember
pretty
it was
sure they
like,
had like a different producer.
yeah, it was like the 2011 newsletter. It's like, oh hey, I'm the new producer of Wizard101. So like that means that they
And
had
it's
a whole new
Dahlia
team.
Falmea or something, right?
Yeah,
Whenever you see the producer, it's
I think
like
her persona.
Dahlia.
Yeah, I think her persona is the fire teacher.
Yeah, so be happy if you're a person. Well, not really be happy if you're a fire wizard. Well, for storyline purposes, say screw the fire teacher, but learning
but like,
fire, fun as hell to do, definitely.
yeah, but actually though, Celestia is a very fun world that came out of this. But after that though, like Celestia and Avalon are the only worlds I actually like out of the Morganth storyline.
Yeah, same. I don't like Chrysalis. I don't think bugs are really all that a great way to even end a Morgan like a storyline. But I mean,
Morganth
if you're
is
pathetic, why not end it pathetic? In my opinion.
but yeah, but then again, like Morganth is the Spider Queen. But the
Yeah, I would imagine more spiders than
but they
any
shouldn't have called it
bugs.
her home world because I mean like if it's her
Her
home
home world
world,
was apparently Avalon, so I don't understand why they call Chrysalis her home world. Like you clearly state that her and her brother, Sir Mallory, lived in fucking Avalon. So You know, you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So I don't understand what they're actually talking about when they say that. But eh. Why
Hopefully,
did I flee? Why did I flee? I forgot.
I think you had the wrong
I
deck.
remember that happening, but I don't remember why exactly I did
I
that.
think you had the wrong deck or something, or
Yeah, pretty sure I did.
and of course critical.
But I think what they need, so we know
Oh
what went wrong with those worlds, but we need to think of how could they possibly fix it. I know we have no control over what they do, but
yeah.
we're just giving our thoughts on how they
Over,
could probably do a better job.
overall, what they can do better is okay. I don't really care so much about the world's themes as I do. Like they just need to try and not just add a bunch of random NPCs and give them a dialogue that leads to a quest. They need to make a character and take maybe a week or two to make this whole mini story enveloping this one character so they can shape their dialogue and everything, you know? Because while that's a lot of work, though, the immersion that the player gets from that truly will make them enjoy the story a lot better, and that's why I really enjoy the Malistaire storyline. Like the Krakatopian king that you kill where in the second third of the game. I mean the second third of the world.
You
Hello.
didn't really know about them, but
Yeah, we didn't really know about him, but then all of a sudden
then
you
once
go
you
into
get to
the
the next place,
yeah, all of
you
a sudden
meet
you're in the next place, and he's like, oh, well, back in the days of when I was alive, all this happened. Now I'm, like, gonna help you. And they, like, slowly talks with you on the way as you grow power to kill the queen. Like,
and the funny thing is he's actually being nice to you, like he's
he,
not possessed.
he, and that's actually, like, speaking of being nice and a ghost, the way they ended the Malistaire arc was truly a great way to end it. It was, like, all sad. Because, like, here's Malistaire, who
That most epic and evil guy you thought
yeah,
was probably cool,
pretty much the
but actually has
Voldemort
a
of the Wizard101 series. Yeah, I had to make a Harry Potter reference there. He's pretty much the Voldemort of the series, and then you defeat him, and all of a sudden he turns from this incredibly evil man who's just relentlessly searching for a way to revive his wife into this broken, sad man who realizes he wasted his life away on his pointless goal to try and toy with to play God and everything. You
Yeah,
know.
that's the thing. Like they actually thought through that character and knew how they were gonna end him. It wasn't just Morgan dying right there and being like ah screaming like it was Goku going Super Saiyan 3.
Yeah, like he actually had depth. Although one thing I think they could have done to make the more Malistaire storyline a bit better was yeah, I'm actually giving Morgana's storyline some props. One thing that Malistaire storyline could have done better that the Morgana storyline did was going back in time to see them when they were young. You
Yeah,
know,
like in Chrysalis, you go back into
and in
those
Avalon, like there's a dungeon where you go back in time like
Ghost
50
Avalon,
years.
basically.
Yeah,
Like Ghost Avalon was complete
because
new.
while you do go back in time like 1,000 years in Dragonspire, you don't see anything outside a small little area. So that's one thing that Malistaire storyline could have done a bit better was maybe showing us a past Malistaire as he's researching some things.
Or maybe a past master while his wife was alive. Maybe after the
Yeah,
dungeon where you fight
showing
her,
how he was before he went insane.
pretty much. I think that'd be a smarter way to do things, but
Yeah, but hey, the storyline overall was still good. And Wizard 101 was still in a young phase. They couldn't really. It was too risky, I'm sure, to experiment with that kind of thing at the time. You know,
it
because
still made a fucking hell of a good game
yeah,
during the Master arc, but it slowly decreased as they introduced Morganth. So
yeah.
I hope if they do plan on making a new arc or whatever,
Now
try and
actually,
do a better job about it,
and now
I
actually,
guess.
I'm gonna word this in a way so it's like an inside joke for those who know this far into the game, and so it doesn't spoil for those who don't know just yet. What they did in Azteca, with the final dungeon, really, I think they could tweak that into the next arc. Like, they can expand on what happened at the end of the dungeon to branch into a new arc. Because truly, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, but then that old Cobb guy or whatever, I don't want to spoil too much in this video, but it was like, I don't know, it was pretty weird what he was talking about. I guess a lot of people think the rumor of the new world is Polaris or some shit. I
Really?
don't know. Yeah, Polaris, I guess, or
He's the, they think
at some polar place, I guess.
they think he's the new bad guy or something.
No, I think there's I don't know I don't know, dude. I really don't know. It's a big mystery, but
Yeah.
I don't see how they'd pull that out of their ass.
Speaking of mystery and pulling stuff out of of our asses, remember how long Candyland was rumored to be a world coming up?
Candyland.
Yeah, ever since Celestia came out, every world people have always betted that Candyland would be the next world. I don't know
I
why.
remember a lot about people rumoring Celestia, but
Well, Celestia was leaked like really early on. Like the
yeah,
moment
it
there was a new
was leaked.
storyline, it mentioned. Which, by the
Yeah, but I
way,
think the only person from I think the first producer left before they started Safaria, and I think he left in the middle of the making of Celestia.
yeah, which is probably why Celestia is a great world, despite the fact that it's like the Morgana storyline.
Yeah, like Celestia's not all that bad. I could deal with it, but
Yeah, it was a fun world.
you can't lie about that. That was a decent world, but I think Zafaria slacked. Azteca definitely slacked.
Oh God, Azteca.
Fuck,
But
I
you
don't know
know,
how we're gonna get through with Azteca, dude.
dude, as well, man, now you're making me think about that pain.
Like
We just need to
Azteca's,
like take a day where we just bulldoze through that world.
yeah, I think when we do that, considering that I got 2 terabytes of space, I'd record maybe like a terabyte that day.
Yeah, and
Be like, yo, screw all this shit. I'm just gonna get as much of Azteca done as possible. Because
and
guys, I'll tell you straight up, the world we've been not wanting to do the most is Azteca.
Azteca, that's the only world that I am worried about. Like every other world I
Yeah,
can
I don't.
do.
That's a world that's going to be difficult to overcome
Dude,
because
like they
that
have.
will prove. Okay, it was a shock to even get this far for us, but if we can make it past Azteca,
Yeah,
that's even better.
Azteca will truly test our patience.
Yeah, because that's long, it's annoying, and there's cheap shit about it.
Dude, Azteca made me quit twice. Like I would go into it. I did like the first few areas, then I quit. Then I came back. I did more bit of it. Then I quit again. Like
Exactly, that's how I
as
was.
Azteca was actually so bad. Didn't they actually nerf that entire
I
world?
think they did nerf it actually.
Like if it gets, I don't think Wizard101 has ever nerfed an entire world before. I don't think King's Isle ever
Pretty-
nerfed a world before.
they fixed quests, but that's
Yeah,
it.
they would fix quests and maybe an enemy or two, like they always do the Lost Souls. Like it seems like every week their health changes, but like
Exactly. I don't see why they changed the Lost Souls, to be honest, because like
it was good at
just going
95.
back at it, they were like the easiest shit to do
Yeah,
when I started.
it was okay
I
at
guess that
95.
proves the amount of
Yeah. Oh, hey guys, guess we're now level 60. Yay. We're two
yay,
thirds done.
60 levels in. That's pretty nice. I guess, but I did level up to 60 before you.
You're like,
At
because
the
you were
same
like,
time, for some odd reason,
uh,
cough cough, I probably did some extra shit that
yeah.
I don't remember.
And
I think we
actually,
were flipping out in there, like, yo, do we have to fight this bitch again?
yeah, we were. But actually, of course, the
You have to
lever
pull that
resets
lever
it.
to fight her again.
Yeah.
Remember Queen Calypso used to be a farming spot before Azteca came? Well, not Azteca, but Vestralon came.
Mm-hmm.
At least I remember me and Jared farming Calypso for items because it
No,
wasn't that hard.
no, she's not that much of a farm person.
Yeah, I don't know. I just we did it because it was it was kill time pretty much.
And actually, that for some reason that reminds me is that I, Wizard 101, like, it's based off mythology, and then pretty much for the entire Malistaire arc, and a bit of Celestia, since it's like Atlantis kind of thing, it was all based on mythology, all spells were based on mythical creatures from Rome, Greeks, anything else, but
Well,
then,
I like Aquila. Aquila was good because they brought Hades and all
yeah,
that
like
stuff into
that really went
play.
back with mythology, but then, of course, after Safaria, after Celestia, they just kind of strayed away from mythology, because there's Safaria, which is about real-world animals, and
There was and then like lions were kings and stuff.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
then there's Avalon, which while I still like it, it wasn't based off mythology. It was like
It
more,
was knights, and
yeah,
that happened in the Middle Ages
yeah, it
around,
was more like Middle Age lore and stuff.
yeah, Middle Ages basically. And then and then the Aztecs, which were
The Aztecs were
uh, uh,
definitely not mythology.
Yeah, they were
Me.
definitely history. If you've taken world history, you've probably learned about them already. Okay, so yeah, this is not mythology.
Oh well, maybe they'll get it right in the next arc. It'll be really nice if they go back to the roots of mythology.
Yeah, I don't know how they do that though, considering.
Well, they just need to take more inspiration out of it. Like, you know what I mean.
Well, the chances of them actually watching this and realizing what we're talking about is very slim. So,
Well, yeah. Then again, when do any company watch anyone's opinions on the internet? Like, really,
pretty much,
they only listen to them through like polls and stuff, things that can take a second to get the information from.
pretty much.
Yep. So, how's life?
It's decent. I don't know what to talk about considering I have to
Well,
re-commentate this shit.
there's only like five more. There's only like a minute left. We gotta commentate, dude. Come on, we can do it.
Okay. Wait, we have to do. We're doing the whole thing again, like the whole
No.
ending.
What? No.
Oh.
What?
Well, anyways, I'm not even paying attention.
No. You're not, are you?
No. I'm watching PvP Chloe and Amber Draconian Superstars. That's the best
But
video ever.
guys, this marks the end of the final
There.
area in the Celestial world, and now we're gonna be finally begin. At least
Oh,
wrap it
yep,
up.
here we go. It's almost the time we see the bitch herself.
Yeah, the
Morgan!
chancel.
Yeah, I wish
Chance.
we could do Chancel in this episode, but it's already 37 minutes, pretty
27
much.
minutes.
27?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was thinking of the actual time before we cut out some walking.
Oh.
Remember, it was like 37 minutes or something?
Well, no, this video was originally like an hour long before I made any edits to it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, when you made the usual edits we do, it wasn't like 37
Yeah,
minutes?
it was like 37 minutes long before I cut out all the walking.
Mm. Yeah, that's what I was basically saying. And there we go. We gotta talk to Edith, and we'll leave this shit in the books.
And
And
we,
after
we
let's
actually start.
commentate another video.
Yeah,
The
we saw.
Son of all fears. Two more quests until we beat this world, basically.
Yeah, we still have the chancel and the final dungeon to commentate. Ugh.
Yeah, Final Dungeon won't be bad. This is three bosses and puzzles, so
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter to me.
Celestia's nearing its end.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed. Next episode, as we already said, would be
The chancel, and then after that,
Chancel
will be
and the Final Dungeon, and we'll head on into the next world. So, hope you
Zafari.
guys enjoyed. See you next time.
Bye bye, guys.